sitting there with my niece, Felicia Michaels, my wife, my niece's boyfriend.
Yeah.
We're drinking sangria, we're sitting there, and you ever go into you ever watch a movie and the guy goes into like a thought?
Yeah.
And I go, how did I end up Cochinito? I went to an audition. I saw Rudy Moreno at the audition. It was for one of those big TV dramas.
Yeah.
It's got to be March of 97. I'm in a borrowed car. Like, I had no money. I think in those days I used to borrow Doug Stanhope's utility car. You didn't know how much gas was in it because the needle was always broken on it. So you had to, as soon as you got in the car, you had to put $10 in there. And so that's what you did. I went to this fucking audition, went on the 5, these directions I don't know about. And I end up on the way back, go to the audition, I eat a bag of dicks, and I end up in Echo Park, the one that the water spits out. But as I'm driving, I notice police helicopters are all around me. Right?
Yeah.
And I keep driving. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. What was going on was the side I was driving on, and I don't know whether I was going north or south, people please, or west or north. I was going this way. Over here, there was a police pursuit. Have you been to Echo Park?
Not in a while, but yeah.
Echo Park has a 2-block Cuban neighborhood that you can go get Cuban pastries at this time. Do I know about this? I don't know dick. All I know is that I hear, stop, police. So I pull my car over and I hear, boom. And I look over and I see the guy on the floor, and there's 10 cops and there's helicopters. This is 2:30 in the afternoon on a fucking Tuesday, okay? I'm minding my own fucking business. This could only happen to me, but it gets worse. After I get back, I put my signal on to make a left to go back onto the highway. The tire got flat.
Jesus.
I got no ATM. I got no money. I got a driver's license from Colorado, maybe fucking $4. I drive around the corner with the flat. I park. I call the only person I know, Marilyn Martinez. God rest her soul. She sends her husband over. He goes, don't worry about nothing. I got you. We went up to, if you go Echo Park, if you go up, if you go east, every other store is a Mexican tire place.
Right.
Right? That you go in there, whatever you need, they got a tire. $20. You know, and then you can Jew them down. Give me 10. Ocho, no te doy 9, güey.
Yeah.
So he got me a tire for like $8, slaps it on.
Jesus Christ.
Right? Gets me a tire. They slap it on for you for $8.
Oh, no.
I'm healed. But on the way back, Marilyn's husband, God rest his soul, says to me, have you ever met my brother-in-law, the Cuban guy? And I go, no. And he goes, he wants to meet you, man. He just got out of prison. And he says he knows people you know and all this shit. And I go, all right, let's go. He goes,
are these two, by the way, they're both passed?
Marilyn and the husband both passed. Marilyn died of cancer.
Or anything like
Marilyn Martinez was a comic.
Okay.
Then the husband.
Damn.
So now we end up at El Cochinito.
To meet the guy.
To meet the dude.
Yeah.
And I got $4 on me. And I don't order. I just get like a soda. And the guy's like, eat, I'll buy you lunch. And we start talking. And it was just a great conversation about being Cuban.
Yeah.
And it always ends with, if you ever need anything, contact me. You know? And I'm like, what do you mean by anything? And he goes, I got the best Coke in town.
You don't need to smell it on you?
Right, because we're family. Right there, you're Cuban.
Yeah.
So as a matter of fact, follow me 2 blocks down, I'll throw a package in your hand.
Okay.
He threw a package in my hand for free that night. I went and did comedy, and I went to the Coaching Horses. It was Doug Stanhope. I mean, this all happened in one day, and I'm sitting at the table going, my life was crazy back then. It was me, Doug Stanhope, David Fulton, who's a comic friend of ours from Seattle from 95. Lives in England now. Josh Wolf, his brothers. We would go to the store and then go to Coaching Horses. That night I had to cancel. This Coke was so good I couldn't even talk. I remember I had to leave, and I was living in my car. And I had to go on Josh Wolf's block, park under a tree, and lay back with like 2 bottles of beer. And I sat there till 4 in the morning doing the little Coke I had, jerking off. And that was the end of that fucking day.
Jesus Christ.
That was a great day.
And that's how you ended up at El Cochinito.
And the food, I remember the first time.
Sounds like a good Yelp review.
That's a fantastic
the
review.
first time I fucking went. It was like
I ended
okay.
up jerking off out of a window.
Oh my god, it was fucking terrible. In a car, coked up to the
5
gills.
stars.
That fucking coke was good.
So did you hit him up again
Oh yeah, that night
that night?
when that shit wore off, I made up some story. I gave somebody like a bump or two, and they went crazy.
And then you had,
No,
how'd you,
the cocaine was off limits. Like this shit was just. It was.
how much were you doing at your max of coke? Like when you were really into
This
it?
was probably 97,
Yeah.
and I was broke, but I could still get 20s from time to time. And at that time, I was doing 3-4 20s a week.
Okay.
Then I popped the Taco Bell commercial, and it was off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was one of the first one with the dog.
And then you're like getting
Like,
checks.
yeah, I was just going to the dude's house. But at that time, I always hunted away, just like weed, to get. I met people who did cocaine and appreciated it.
Yeah.
There's people who are just salesmen, but there's people who are like, listen, you got to come over here now and bring whatever cash you got with you, because I usually get shit. Wait till you see this shit.
And they were not fucking with you.
And then I fuck with you. You go over there and this shit is from 1980, the flake, the ether base. You know, if you learned in Narcos in the season 3, the one
Yeah.
that you really enjoyed,
Yeah, yeah.
you go to buy the ether.
Yeah.
There was no ether. At one point in 85, cocaine was always tremendous. It always tasted delicious. That drip.
Yeah.
When you went up to the bar and had that fucking Budweiser, Jesus Christ, and your throat would get numb and you're there fucking, I wasn't even smoking that. But there was a time by 86, 87,
Yeah.
that cocaine started getting funky. Mm-hmm. Started smelling like turpentine and fucking shoe polish. And it was so good, but the next day you kind of had a headache from whatever
Yeah.
the fuck you were snorting the night before. Gasoline. Because they couldn't get enough ether in.
Because there was like a cutoff, right? Some supplier.
They couldn't get enough in. Like that, at that point, they were making so much cocaine
God damn.
that they couldn't get enough ether.
I never. You romanticize it to the point where I want to try.
I knew at that point, I knew what was going on. Like I remember people going. I remember I used to fly back and forth with Danny B, who calls into the podcast.
Yeah.
I used to fly back and forth with packages, and one time I went to see him, and he goes, "Listen, this guy usually wants 9. At that time, he wanted 86 and 9600 for a quarter kilo, which at that time was whatever it comes out to 9.5 ounces. I have no idea. I'm not a mathematician. The price dropped by 2,000. He goes, if you want, he goes, I'll get you that one, but try this shit for 2,000 less. It might work for you. And he brought it over. Fucking the coke put me in another planet. There was only one problem. It smelled like fucking cat piss.
Really.
Oh my God, in a horrible way.
Really.
And guess what the Jew Cuban did that I did?
What?
I brought that cat piss back with
You
me.
did.
And no matter what you cut it with, it was cat piss. And people were bringing it back to me. People were like, you can't. So that was the coke that you bought and turned into crack.
The cat piss.
The
coke.
cat pit, because then they don't give a fuck. They're smoking it.
Yeah.
They don't taste that cat piss.
It doesn't taste like cat piss when you smoke
So
it.
then there was a period.
But when you snort it, what? It sticks with you?
it sticks with you. Like
Yeah.
it just, it doesn't smell good. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't smell good.
What does regular Coke smell like?
Delicious. Paradise.
But I mean, really?
Fucking paradise. When the ether-based
God.
Yeah.
cocaine,
It smells good.
79 through 86.
How hard was it to quit coke?
It was easy because I was done.
You were already
Like
made
I
your
was done.
choice.
I couldn't. At that point, I had a lot of variables why, and it was a lot easier than people think. I was done. But once I missed. I realized that I wasn't getting high to get. It wasn't enjoyable no more. Like marijuana right now, I could see it falling off the map any day now.
Really?
Yeah, I can see myself. I can see myself just doing edibles or something to calm me down for a while, just to save the little bit of lung I got left.
Oh, stop smoking.
It doesn't take a genius to know I got the beginnings of emphysema. You don't have to be a genius.
So you can do it then. Do that, man. Save your lungs.
No. And that's what, with cocaine, it was the same thing. I just knew that when I was doing cocaine for so long that I was getting jolts in my spine at the end of the night.